It is He who has made you successors upon the earth. And whoever disbelieves, upon him will be the consequence of his disbelief. And the disbelief of the disbelievers does not increase them in the sight of their Lord, except in hatred. Except in hatred. Can you imagine? Allah hating a person because of his disbelief, and the disbelief of the disbelievers does not increase them except in loss. Because sometimes we see somebody doing something wrong, we're like, oh, how lucky. No, not lucky at all. How unfortunate. Say, have you considered your partners whom you invoke besides Allah? Show me what they have created from the earth. Or have they partnership with Him in the heavens? Or have we given them a book, so they are standing on evidence therefrom? No, rather the wrongdoers do not promise each other except delusion. Inna Allaha yumsiku as-samawati wal arda an tazula. Indeed, Allah holds the heavens and the earth lest they cease. Lest they cease. Who is holding them? Who is maintaining them? Who is preventing them from dying? Allah. And if they should cease, no one could hold them in place after Him. Indeed, He is forbearing and forgiving. And we see this. That if, for example, something in this earth, even a species, if it is meant to go extinct, what can we do to preserve it? We could spend thousands of dollars. We can't preserve it if Allah does not want. And they swore by Allah their strongest oaths, that if a warner came to them, they would be more guided than any of the previous nations. But when a warner came to them, it did not increase them except in aversion. Just as many times we say, if only I knew, if I could learn, I would do this and this. Well, what happens when a person comes to know? Due to arrogance in the land and plotting of evil, but the evil plot does not encompass except its own people. Then do they await except the way of the former peoples? What happened to the people of the past? They were arrogant, they were stubborn on their wrongdoing. And what happened? What was their result? It's clear. But you will never find in the way of Allah any change, and you will never find in the way of Allah any alteration. Have they not traveled through the land and observed how was the end of those before them? And they were greater than them in power. But Allah is not to be caused failure by anything in the heavens or on the earth. Indeed, He is ever knowing and competent. So what we need to do is remember that we are Allah's servants. We can never cause failure to His plans. We are ultimately in His control. And if Allah were to impose blame on the people for what they have earned, He would not leave upon the earth any creature. Not a single dabbah would remain. If we were to be punished for the sins that we do. But He defers them for a specified term. Each person has a limited amount of time in this life. And when their time comes, then indeed Allah has ever been of His servants seeing. When the time comes to an end, then Allah knows exactly what we have brought to Him. So we really need to be honest with ourselves and see, what am I doing? What is it that Allah has ordered? And what am I doing? I cannot hide from Allah. I cannot escape from Him. So what we really need to do is rectify our matter with Allah. Because if a person does not beg for His forgiveness, does not correct his relationship with Allah, then no matter how successful, how happy he is in this life, he is ultimately a loser. And may Allah protect us from such loss.